Go ahead and consider today institutions. All right, so if you can bear with me with the video format of today's lecture, the topic that we're going to discuss is actually a crucial one because it has direct bearing on a wide variety of environmental outcomes. And so the title for the lecture today is Institutions, Collective Action, and Environmental Outcomes. So let's start with a thought experiment, okay? Just for fun, imagine if there were no pattern whatsoever to social interaction. No rules, no routines, no traditions, no group identities, no shared beliefs or common understanding. In fact, no social organization of any kind. I mean, people are walking around in random patterns, bumping into each other, speaking gibberish because there's no common language, right? Total unpatterned chaos. Now, contrast that sort of stylized social reality with the degree to which social interactions today are highly structured. In other words, I'm going to ask you over the course of the next hour to not take for granted the thousands of enduring and recognizable patterns characterizing our social interactions with one another. Okay? So I'm asking you to contrast, on the one hand, this stylized world of no rules whatsoever with the world that we actually live in, which is extremely highly structured, and it raises the question as to why. Why are some nations rich and other poor? What explains that pattern? Why is oil cheap and solar panels are expensive when in fact oil has higher social costs than solar? Shouldn't oil be more expensive? What explains that pattern? Why do we arrive in class on time? And in fact, the propensity to arrive in class on time differs across cultures and societies. Why is that the case? An important part of the answer to this question of what explains all of these patterns in our lives and in our society is institutions. And we'll get into the definition, the formal definition of institutions in a moment. For some of you, it was raised earlier in the course. But for now, just think of institutions as the widely recognized rules of the game, okay, in a society. These could be encoded in laws, in standards, in the operating procedures of an organization, personnel policies, right? Some of them are going to be unwritten but widely understood, like hold the door for the person behind you, but only hold the door if they're a certain number of feet behind you, right? If they're far off in the distance, you don't have to hold the door. Where did that pattern come from? Okay? And the bigger point is that without well-functioning institutions, environmental management would be impossible. And in fact, without well-functioning institutions, coordinated social actions such as this class would be impossible. So, institutions can be thought of as, what is their political significance?